Hello, I am Tarık Toros. Welcome to What's Happening in Turkey. A shifting global focus. Trump's return to power. In recent weeks, much of the global agenda has centered on the US and the impending second term of Donald Trump. President-elect Trump will officially assume office this Monday after his inauguration. From conflict zones to trade corridors, the world is closely watching how his administration will shape global dynamics. Many actors, both state and non-state, have already repositioned themselves in anticipation. This renewed focus on the US coincides with a rare diplomatic breakthrough. A 15-month stalemate between Israel and Hamas has ended with a new agreement, coming into effect just before Trump's inauguration. Such a resolution, while unexpected, reflects Trump's unpredictability and his bold, transactional approach to diplomacy. The power transition in the US also resonates in Syria, where shifting alliances and new policies are creating ripple effects across the region. Turkey and the fallout of Assad's regime. For years, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government had ambiguous goals in Syria. While Turkey publicly portrayed the fall of the Assad regime as a foreign policy victory, Ankara's actual objective wasn't Assad's removal but a chance to stabilize its borders and suppress Kurdish aspirations. When Assad's regime ultimately collapsed, Turkey quickly adjusted its narrative, seeking opportunities to counter the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces in northern Syria. However, the resilience of the SDF, combined with robust US support, thwarted Ankara's plans. Meanwhile, the new Damascus government took a stance that diverged sharply from Turkey's priorities, complicating the situation further. US policy on Syria. Continuity with the SDF. In Washington, incoming Secretary of State Marco Rubio reaffirmed strong US support for the SDF during his Senate confirmation hearing. Rubio emphasized that cooperation with the SDF remains vital for counterterrorism, particularly in managing ISIS detainee camps. He also issued a clear warning to Erdogan. The transition of power in the US doesn't signal an opportunity to undermine established agreements. This stance highlights a long-standing tension in US-Turkey relations. While the US views the SDF as an indispensable partner in Syria, Turkey categorizes them as an extension of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which it considers a terrorist organization. Kurdish unity gains momentum. In a groundbreaking move, Mazlum Abdi, the commander of the US-backed SDF, met with Mesut Barzani, the influential leader of Iraq's Kurdistan regional government. The meeting, facilitated by US logistics, marked a significant step toward Kurdish political unity across borders. Despite its strategic implications, Turkish media completely ignored the event, continuing its pattern of censorship on sensitive regional developments. This meeting comes at a critical juncture as Syria transitions into a new political phase. Efforts to resolve historical divisions within the Kurdish political landscape are accelerating. The PKK, in a statement to Reuters, expressed willingness to withdraw from northeastern Syria if Kurdish leadership is maintained under SDF oversight, an unprecedented olive branch that could reshape the region's political dynamics. Press freedom, the global and Turkish context. Turkey's deteriorating press freedoms remain under the spotlight. The Committee to Protect Journalists recently reported a global rise in journalist imprisonments, ranking Turkey 9th, a seeming improvement from its earlier status as the world's worst jailer of journalists. However, this ranking masks the reality. As of December 2024, 31 journalists are either detained or imprisoned in Turkey. The crackdown continues unabated. Last Friday, 6 journalists were detained in home raids, with authorities citing confidentiality to suppress details. Meanwhile, Turkish military operations in northern Syria have led to the deaths of 2 journalists and injuries to 4 others, raising serious concerns about press safety in conflict zones. Domestic repression and opposition challenges. Domestically, Erdogan's government has intensified its suppression of dissent. Since the local elections in March 2024, trustees have replaced elected officials in 9 municipalities, part of a broader trend that has seen 147 municipal administrations seized over the past decade. The government justifies these actions by alleging ties to terrorism, a charge often leveled at Kurdish politicians. The opposition, fragmented and demoralized, struggles to mount a coordinated response. Even the mayor of Beşiktaş, a stronghold of the main opposition CHP, was recently arrested on questionable corruption charges, further eroding trust in Turkey's judiciary. Erdogan's calculations, risk and resistance. President Erdogan is doubling down on aggressive domestic and foreign policies aimed at neutralizing Kurdish movements and consolidating power. Yet this strategy carries significant risks, including further isolating Turkey on the international stage. The unwavering US support for the SDF and growing Kurdish unity pose substantial obstacle to his ambitions. The Kurdish issue, intertwined with Erdogan's authoritarian trajectory, remains a key factor in shaping regional stability. Whether reconciliation among Kurdish factions can be achieved, and how this interacts with Turkey's internal politics, will define the next chapter of the region's history. I am Tarık Toros, and you've been watching What's Happening in Turkey. See you next week with more updates.